The Magic Thief, Chapter 15. The next day, Nevery was in a hurry to get to Magister's Hall. He had called a meeting with the underlord, he said. You're asking the wrong person for help, I said. Stay out of it, boy, Nevery said, sweeping along the tunnel to the Academicos. You have other things to worry about. I can't help you look for a locus magicalicus. You'll have to find it yourself. I had 30 days, 29 now. Plenty of time. Still, I wasn't sure exactly how I was supposed to find my locust stone. Would it just appear one day? Would I bump my foot on it and just know that it was mine? Would it come to me, or would I have to go out into the world to find it? When we arrived at the Academicos, Nevery stopped at the top of the staircase. A student was there waiting. Greetings, Magister Nevery, she said with a bow. Magister Brumby sent me to meet you here, sir. He said you have an apprentice who needs tutoring? He nodded. This boy, here, he pointed at me. The girl seemed older than I was. She was taller anyway, and she had cat-like gray eyes and bright red hair cut short like she'd hacked it off with a knife. Right from the start, I didn't like her. Very well, sir, the girl said. To me, she said, follow me. Nevery, I began. I didn't want to go with her. Don't argue, boy, he said, and don't give anybody any trouble. He glared down at me and then went tap, tap, tap down the stairs on his way to Magister's Hall. The girl stood looking down her nose at me. Hurry up, she said, walking quickly across the courtyard, ignoring the other students who stared at me. Following her, I stared back at them. Like the girl, they all wore gray robes over their regular clothes, but they had different colored patches on the sleeves. Hers was green with yellow letters. We went inside and down a hallway to a study room. The girl slung her bag onto the floor, sat down on a bench facing me, and leaned back against the table. Beneath her gray robe, she wore an embroidered black worm silk dress down to her ankles and black lace-up boots. She took a few moments to look me up and down. What's your name? She asked. I suppose you do have one besides boy. Con, I answered. Conwar. Now why had I done that? Nobody knew my own true name, only Nevery, and I'd gone and told this horrible girl. Conwar, she said, looking up at the ceiling. It's a kind of bird, isn't it? Yes, and she'd better not say anything more about it. Black feathers? I nodded. She gave me a glinting look, all sly and sharp. Suits you. I blinked, surprised. Maybe she wasn't so bad after all. I'm Rowan. I'm a regular student, not a wizard's apprentice, but I sit in on the apprentice classes. Magister Brumby told me you need to learn how to read. That's right, I said. She bent to pull some things out of her bag. Paper, pencils, a couple of books. I've never taught anybody to read before. I have no idea why Magister Brumby gave me this assignment. She waved me over. I went and sat next to her on the bench. Maybe he's mad at you, I said. Ha, she said, and gave me the glinting look again. I think he wants to teach me patience. She seemed like an impatient person. That might be the reason. Rowan opened one of the books, which had big runes written across the pages. This is a rune book, obviously, from the babies' class. She quickly told me the names of the runes, then shoved the book along the table to me. There, look at them for a while yourself. I've got some studying of my own to do. She opened the other book. I flipped the pages back and looked at the runes again, then paged forward until I came to the words. If I put the runes together, they made patterns, words. I worked at that for a while until Rowan closed her book and pulled my book away from me. All right, that's enough, she said. I'm going to drill you on your runes. What do you mean? I asked. She blew out a sigh. I'm going to test you to see if you know which runes are which. I didn't get it. But I already know that. She put her elbow on the table and her chin on her hand and looked at me. You learned the runes? And how to put them together to make words. Right, show me. I took the book back from her and put together some of the words. She gave me the down-the-nose look she'd given me before. So you did know how to read before? No, I didn't, I said. She shook her head. You're lying. Why would I lie about something like that? I asked. I could think of much better things to lie about. She stared at me for a while. I guess you wouldn't. But you learned that awfully fast. She gave a sudden bright smile which made her sharp, proud face look much friendlier. Maybe I'm just a really good teacher. At that moment, the door flew open and a group of gray-robed students burst into the room. Rowan's face went back to looking proud and sharp, and she snapped the rune book closed. "Oh, sorry, Lady Rowan," one of the students said breathlessly. "We didn't know you were studying in here." They started to back out. Rowan shoved the papers in her book back into her bag. "No, it's all right," she told the students. "We're all finished." She gave me the rune book. "Here, study this tonight, and we'll go on with your lessons tomorrow." As she got to her feet, I noticed the patch on her sleeve. In the middle was a slender tree stitched with green and yellow thread. Below it was a line of things that I now knew were runes. They made words. Rowan's patch said Tree and Leaf. Nevery's Journal. Underlord came to Magister's Hall, rode across river with 3 bodyguards. Underlord not a big man, speaks quietly, but fills room with presence. Powerful. Underlord very calm. "I share your concern, Magister Nevery," he said. "Doubted it. Not a wizard. How could he?" "I realize I have a bad reputation east of the river," Crow said. He put his hand into his pocket, followed by odd clicking noise. "But Magister Nevery, I am just a businessman trying in hard times to keep the factories open so the workers can earn their wages." Very likely this true. Why would Crow work to reduce the level of magic in city if it meant factories would no longer operate? Makes no sense. At the same time, Crow said, "My calculations indicate that the crisis has been exaggerated." "Why so?" I asked. Underlord shrugged. "Very smooth." Then sound of odd clicking noise again. "The wear lights and the sunrise still light that part of the city. The factories are running. They run 30% slower, but they are running. I see no reason for panic." Underlord folded his hands on the table and leaned forward. "What precisely are the magisters doing to remedy the problem?" he asked. "We are studying the situation," I said, "and have little to report." This actually true, unfortunately. After more pointless discussion, Crow left. Hadn't met this underlord before, returned to well met. Crow civilized man, still not to be trusted.